Hey, what up guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. And earlier today we had a little of like a 5 minute, if that, like maybe a 5 minute community discussion live stream with Ed Boon and one of the other creators talking about Mortal Kombat 1. And a lot of the community was disappointed because it was just like a 5 minute talk that basically just it was like the ultimate cock tease. But the biggest thing that I personally took from that, apart what I already didn't know, is the fact that the game is actually not, how do I put this? It's not a direct continuation from Mortal Kombat 11, according to what I see. So, um, I think in terms of the ending of Mortal Kombat 11, what they did was they made Fire God Liu Kang and all that. But the thing is, in terms of what he's created and stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the same Fire God Liu Kang that we saw before in terms of the story from Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat 1 up until Mortal Kombat 11 that we got previously, um, that was a different Liu Kang. That was a different. So according to Ed Boon, if I understood him correctly, this this story that we're seeing here is basically again it's like I said, it's an alternate timeline, but it doesn't tie into the events of Mortal Kombat 11. Um, I I don't think it's the same Liu Kang, but if it is, the rest is completely different. Okay, if that is the same Liu Kang that we got from Mortal Kombat 11 in terms of the story, everything else is completely different. So basically, the relationships with characters are different. There's a couple things that I didn't. There's a couple things that I missed in terms of remember that my recent video in terms of what the trailer hints at. There is something that I missed, and thanks to another content creator that saw it, I looked at myself and I said, I can't believe I didn't see that. It's the possibility that Melina could be the princess of Edenia this time in this story and in this timeline instead of Kitana. And the reason for this is because when you look at the carrot that they're in and the chariot, excuse me, that they're in, excuse me, I'm under the weather. Uh, the colors on the outside were Melina's colors. They were pink, like a dark pink. Granted, at the same time, Sindel has those same colors, and yet she hasn't been mentioned. But it raises a good point. Molina could very well be the ruler of Edenia now, or the princess of Edenia. Imagine that twist. And I still stand by what I said previously. Scorpion and Sub-Zero, I'm telling you, I think they're siblings. I think Scorpion and Sub-Zero this time are twins. I mean, look at their body chemistry and everything like that. Like, holy shit. So, um, what else did I want? First of all, I also wanted to say, please excuse the Mortal Kombat Deception gameplay in the background, because over the last couple of videos, I've posted nothing but an edited version that I cut myself of the Mortal Kombat 1 launch trailer. So not the launch trailer, excuse me, the Mortal Kombat 1 announcement trailer. So I didn't want to bore you guys with that, watching it over and over and over again, even though it's brand new, and that if you're a hardcore Mortal Kombat fan, you could, but at the same time, I just didn't want to do the exact same thing over and over again. So anyway, with that being said, Raiden, like I said, one of the most exciting things is that Raiden is going to get, like, we're going to see an origin story of Raiden, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Who knows? Maybe he ends up becoming a god. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe you never really know what could happen. Maybe Raiden and Kung Lao in this timeline are actually related in terms of family. Seriously. And again, like I said, when they said it's in the blood or it's in our blood, it's like, blood is thicker than water, it's family, it's in the blood, right? So for me, I am actually very excited because with specifically with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, because Scorpion and Sub-Zero are like, I mean, because think about it. It's almost like it's hinting at Shaolin monks with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, because you got the two Shaolin monks now in the form of Raiden and Kung Lao, and then you've got Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and then you got Kitana and Melina. Like, seriously, all of these characters right here can make like contenders for a Shaolin monks type of game. Let's be real here. But the biggest thing that I am excited about more than anything else is the concept of an immersive story mode that could be something like Conquest. And even if it's not that, let's just say they just change the story mode in a different way in terms of how we interact with the environment and stuff, which would be cool. Let's say they changed that up a little bit and gave us something in a different flavor than what we've been getting over the last few iterations of Mortal Kombat. I'm still expecting the Crypt to be like even better than it was before. It might even be its own type of game mode. I am legitimately expecting Conquest. Like, I'm expecting it, man. Ed Boon even like, he kind of cock teased us again previously when he did a little poll saying, what mode would you like to return more in Mortal Kombat? And that was Conquest Mode 1 at 44%. And then a close second at 33%, I believe, was, what's it called? Motor Combat, right? With the go-kart version of Mortal Kombat, which, by the way, could be its own game if they wanted to as well. So when you look at Conquest and when you look at what they've brought back in the past with Conquest and Motor Combat, like, seriously, they can literally do this. They can make these games. So I'm expecting another game within a game, or even more. And let's not forget that this game, Mortal Kombat 1, okay, took an extra 2 years to develop compared to the other couple of iterations that took like 2 to 2.5 years to develop for us, right? And at the same time, because of that extra time as well, I'm also expecting the game to be NetherRealm polished, right? Like, because NetherRealm has been very famous for, well, at least in my opinion, they've been very consistent with the release of their games. Like, all their games have always been sharp and everything like that. So I'm expecting that. I'm expecting the traditional arcade ladder to return. I'm expecting an alternate version of Test Your Might to return, as well as some of the other mini games that we've seen in Mortal Kombat as well, specifically Test Your Might. And I'm really interested to see what the relationships are between some of these characters. Can you imagine if Kano, in this timeline, if Kano was Sonya's partner instead of Jax? Imagine if they were actually going after Jax, right? Sonya and Kano were teaming up, and then how Kano got his metal faceplate was from Jax. Can you imagine that? Like, I'm just saying this. Or imagine if Sonya was evil as hell and was in charge of like all the crime and like one of the biggest crime organizations in Earthrealm, and Kano and Jax were cops and they were going after her or something like that. Or instead of being military, they're cops. Like, think about that for a second. This is the most exciting thing about this upcoming game, and this is like, man, I don't even feel sick right now. That's how excited I am. Shit. I mean, seriously, the twist of how all this can come together, like in terms of the difference, like, again, Scorpion and Sub-Zero being brothers, we've always wanted that, right? And now, how do you make Sonya, characters like Kano, that more interesting? You can turn Kano into something similar that we saw in the movie in terms of like his attitude and his sense of humor, and make him into a good guy with a dark sense of humor like that, and have him team up with Jax, kind of like Riggs and Murtaugh style, going after the bitch Sonya. Or you can have him team up with Sonya. I think that would be the most interesting thing. Have Kano team up with Sonya to where they actually have like a close relationship together as cops, as partner cops. Like, think about that for a second. Wouldn't that be interesting? Just ask yourself that question. This is what I want to hear in the comment section more than anything else. And this has me hyped as fuck because I can't wait to see exactly the kind of relationship. It's like, in one timeline, these guys are enemies. In another timeline, they're friends, and they're like this. We've seen that kind of thing in other iterations in movies and in otherworldly, other universe type of things. This is exciting as hell. We've gotten more. It's like it's genius. It's literally genius to me. As simple as it is, it's genius to me. You know why? Because it's like, how do we give a fresh take on Mortal Kombat with keeping its foundation the same, right? But at the same time, giving the fans something that they've always wanted in a different way that they didn't quite expect, but would fit in very well, and they would very much support that. I am willing to, like, again, I'm not a betting man, and I know I've said this previously in another video. Not shit. If this was a real bet, I'd be putting some serious money on the line here. Holy shit. I am willing to bet that things like that are going to happen in this game, to where Sonya and things like Sonya and Kano actually being partners, as opposed to the opposite way. Like, you're going to see alliances that you've never seen before. Like, if you thought Shang Tsung and Quan Chi teaming up was the shit, just wait till you see what they're planning to show us, right? We're obviously not going to see things, like, at least not completely, like, until the full game's release and get everything. You know, there's probably going to be a story mode launch trailer, probably, or a story mode trailer that they're going to hint and tease us with a few things in terms of what's going on. But other than that, seriously, dude, like, playing the story mode and discovering these relationships unfold in front of our very eyes, as well as seeing the twists and the different relationships that these characters are going to have, our favorite characters that we grew up loving and playing with Mortal Kombat, is going to be absolutely insane. So anyway, I'm going to close it out here for now. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, and by the way, before leaving, I'm going to ask you guys a trivia question for those of you guys that managed to watch all the way through, which I thank you very much for watching. But which 3D era Mortal Kombat was your favorite? Was it Deadly Alliance? Was it deception or was it Armageddon? For me personally, it was deception. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. What kind of relationship twist or something like that would you like to see in there? Let me know down in the comment section. I am excited and happy as hell, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.